everybody with a relationship issue is dealing with a life lesson, I guarantee it. Any emotional trauma, any kind of trauma, is a spiritual lesson. It's a life lesson. Anything that you do not like is a spiritual lesson. It's that simple. And everybody says, oh, we're a spiritual being in a human body having a human experience. And I said, no. We're a spiritual being in a human body having a spiritual experience. That's what it's about.
I guess about 2 months ago now, almost not quite, maybe 6 weeks, I kind of have what I'm referring to as a breakthrough. From the outside, it probably looks like a breakdown. And I was just feeling kind of lost and broken. And I was trying to figure out what to do. And I started looking for, I thought, well, maybe I need to just go spend some time with myself. Maybe I need to go to a yoga retreat and just meditate and just like give myself some space just for me. And I was doing some Googling and I was looking for meditation retreats and Crystal Bay popped up.
I want to tell you something about life lessons, something you might not know, but I will admit, they are tough. They are not easy. Some people come to me in emotional trauma and in extreme emotional conditions, and I say, yeah, it's a life lesson. Extreme physical condition, it's a life lesson. It's not easy. That's why they call them life lessons. People spend their whole life trying to learn the lesson. They might even go through other lives learning the same lesson. Here's the aha. When it's brought to your awareness that all you're dealing with is a life lesson and what that lesson is. Once you know what the lesson is, we're halfway there.
Wow, I think that's what I need. And so I made an appointment to talk with Dr. Mark. And I talked to him, and then I went to my husband and I told him, I said, I know we don't really have the money. I haven't worked in 18 months. So I really think I need to go. This is where I need to be. And he said, well, go do it. If that's what you need to feel better, go. And more money will come, we'll figure it out. And I've had 2 sessions with Dr. Mark, and like immediately after the first one, I just started feeling better, just kind of giving me a different perspective of how to look at things, and some things I've just been kind of carrying around that were really difficult and hard.
These are life lessons, and I always say to people that are in that situation, I don't care if you remarry, I don't care what you do, walk through the lesson. So they're not really easily recognized. And so somebody will come to somebody like myself and I'll point it out to them. Now, each and every one of you, you're gonna learn something tonight or hear something tonight that even Google does not know. I'm gonna share with you tonight the 7 life lessons that we face, and the first one is separation.
I mean, I've worked through some of it, like I've come a long way, like on my own through various experiences, but then there are still some that were just like really heavy, not quite figuring out how to resolve it and move beyond it. And a couple of sessions with Dr. Mark really helped. I still have more work to do.
There's a real simple meditation that I use for separation. I asked the client or the patient, I said, is there a time and place in this life where you felt connected to God, whether it's in nature or a very religious place or some place, and you felt that connection? I said, wherever it is, go there in meditation.
It's hard to articulate like how light, like what a difference it makes. Like, I mean, I feel like this huge weight has been lifted.
Number 2 in life lessons, forgive. The thing about forgiveness is you don't have to tell anybody anything, you just do it. Just let it go. And that includes the emotion betrayal, rejection, guilt, self-forgiveness. Self-forgiveness is huge.
I could have gone to a meditation retreat and actually sat in silence for 30 days. I don't know that I would have made the transformation that I feel like I have in like 4 days.
Third one, tough one, unconditional love. Major big lesson. Let me tell you this, if you're working with unconditional love as your life lesson, here's the deal. Here's the good part. You're close to the end. You're an old soul. You went through a lot of lessons. If you're down to unconditional love, you're coming up to the good stuff. You know, the end is near. Downside, man, it's a tough lesson.
Everyone's here with their own life lessons to learn, and everyone's story is their own, so they're all a little bit different. I felt like people were more accepting, non-judgmental, and I think compassionate.
Fourth one, and this one is pretty consistent. Identity. People don't know who they are. They don't know who they're connected to. You know, that's despair, insecurity, self-esteem issues, depression.
You know, you've got your stuff to go through, I've got my stuff, and I kind of felt like, all right, well, no one's judging me. No one's going, okay, she's crazy. You know, it's just like, you know, it's like we all got our stuff.
Fifth life lesson, judgment. Here's the deal, judgment. Only the all-knowing can judge. I always ask people this, does God have a problem with you? And they, no. Well, if he's all-knowing, he knew you couldn't do it. If you're his creation, then how can he complain about his own creation?
Some of us are just different places, and we're different life lessons that we're learning, and some of us take longer than others. And I think here, sharing my story with people and saying it out loud was really helpful, and having Dr. Mark point out to me like where some of my life's lessons have been, and things that is like, okay, well, you've already learned that, so you don't need to worry about it, but here's where you're stuck.
Lesson number 6 is control. You know, one of the things I do in the interview process with the client and patient, I said, you know, is God all-knowing? And they usually sign off on it, and that's important, because if they sign off on it, we don't have to worry about control.
I mean, I've been to therapists before. I've been to talk therapy, and I didn't find it helpful. Now, I mean, I know it works for some people, and I'd say even at some point in my life it served a purpose, but I was at a point where I was like, it's not working for me.
And the 7th life lesson is divine guidance. Not trusting your gut, not trusting your intuition. See, you're connected, but you're not following.
I think I would just say, if you're looking for something that you don't know what the answer is, and you feel in your heart, if you listen and something tells you, you know, you need something different, really take a look at Crystal Bay and just look at the website, call and talk to Patrick, talk to Dr. Tong, and then just sit with it and you know, feel like, well, maybe this is it, then you should do it.
In every single situation, if you knew their story, you would just love them. You don't know the whole story.